Hello and welcome to Channel Sports on Sunday. I am Ken Ochonogo, and I tell you, it's racking. We were all tense. But I wasn't that tense anyway, to tell you the truth, because like we have advised Tony, we have told him earlier on that, look, my guy, you have about 4-inch advantage. You have the reach over Andy Ruiz. So don't allow this man, don't allow Ruiz to come close to you. Take the jab, you know, the way Mohamed Ali does it. We demonstrated it there now. Keep him away and jab off and run. There is no harm. The thing is to win. It's not by saying go and do a bravado and get knocked out the way, you know, he was knocked down by, you remember, by Klitschko after he knocked Klitschko down, and was knocked out by Andy Ruiz after he has knocked him down. And so this time around, the guy said, this is the sweet art of boxing. That is the science of boxing, is, look, to hit and not get hit. The Muhammad Ali, the Mayweather, the way they do it, I mean, defense. I tell you this. Yes, at the end of the day, it is 118110, 118110, 119109. Yes, and the new heavyweight champion of the world is Anthony AJ Joshua. I tell you, we are so happy. Not every time, you know, that this thing, the Niger spirit now. The guy told you all now. And then when he goes in with those Nigerian music entry, they tells you this is no negotiation. It is Niger guy. I've learned my lessons. I didn't make any excuses. I didn't say whatever it is. I lost, but then I came back a better boxer. And I tell you this, the guy trimmed 11 pounds he lost. I mean, why Andy Ruiz were eating more burger and adding more weight so that his punches can land. You don't know that, yes, you can't hit what you can't see. He couldn't see him. So that is it. That was what happened, you know, late evening yesterday, and he is back. Let us see. But the IBF have said, go and defend the tie, go and defend our own belt. You have 3, but this one we say you should defend mandatory. So that one will come on. And then during the week also, how do you take that away from him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some said he's not the greatest. The 6 Ballon d'Or tells another story. Messi, he just won it. And then they said, I mean, don't compare, because the man you want to compare him with actually came third. So this time, forget the controversy. I know a lot of you will tell me somebody was cheated. You go back there, it is allowed. It's always the Messi, Ronaldo issue. But this time around, you know, somebody stood in between them. And it's an African. So I won't say anything about that. Just realize that, you know, Van Dijk, of course, of Liverpool, people said they won the Champions League. He's supposed to be the best player in the world. But those who voted, it's democracy. In democracy, you don't say it's subjective. I might like somebody and you don't like it. It's not objective. It's not 1 + 1, 2. Even 1 + 1, I want X + 1Y. I will not give you 2XY. I tell you this, it doesn't come out that way. So that's it. So Messi, with 6 Ballon d'Or, arguably today, is the greatest player. He has not won the World Cup, though. I will say that for those playing here, the other one is also, like I said, subjective. So we look at all that. In Europe, a lot of things happen. Manchester United, yes, against all odds, you know, within 4 days, from Wednesday to Saturday also, they beat the clueless one, they call him Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, defeated Mourinho and defeated Pep Guardiola. 6 points declared from Tottenham and Manchester City. And I tell you, the city of Manchester is red as we speak. But that is not all, because when you get out of the city loss, when you are Liverpool are up there. I mean, 14 points ahead of City, 11 points ahead of Leicester City, and we are still in December. What will happen when we enter January? We've just given the crown and said, Liverpool, this is your 19th trophy. Take it and take it home. But then something happened. Ajax lost. I tell you this: we left when you leave Netherlands and go to Germany. Who do you meet there? Bayern. Bayern lost. Jesus Christ, what is happening? You left there and then you say, okay, let us go to Italy. Juventus lost. But then I tell you, the 2 giants in Spain, Barcelona and Real Madrid said no. One scored 4, the other scored 5 to keep that duopoly alive. So we'll talk about our MPFL also is taking place today. We'll try and get you, you know, those fixtures. But then let us come down to the issue. The Athletics Federation of Nigeria. And that is the issue. The board sat and suspended the president of the association. 24 hours later, the president and, you know, some other members of the team, say, and other stakeholders, which is some state FA chairman and other members, came in and said, it is not compulsory, we'll be under the sport ministry. We are autonomous, and we are backing our claim with the facts that we have in our hand that we can move when we want to move. So today, we are looking at the AFN, and who better to talk to than the, can I use the word embattled? I don't know, because he's suspended, he's the president. Okay, we have Ibrahim Gusau in the house, the president of the AFN. Alhaji Gusau, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you very much.
All right. I try to give a brief knowledge of what is happening so that guys can get it. But it is better to hear it from you. It is alleged that you conveyed a meeting that took place here by the board, and 7 members of that board out of your 10 said you are no longer their president. What transpired, and then you were accused of not obeying instructions from the Ministry of Sport, the parent ministry of the Athletic Federation of Nigeria. Can I get your response?
Thank you, Ken. I will start with congratulating Nigerians on this win.
On this win, yeah.
That has given us some. Lately, there's not been good news around sports.
Around sports.
But that's a good one, and I say to Nigerians, congratulations. Let's keep it up, not only in boxing, in other areas. Now, coming to the point, like you said,
yeah,
indeed, there was a meeting held on the 3rd and the 4th, which was on the 3rd was arrival at Oka, and of course, that night there was a board meeting held, and the next day, which is the 4th, there was a congress, and the congress was attended by out of the 36 states in Abuja. We had arrivals. Attendance of 29,
okay,
which is more than the quorum as expected. So decisions were taken at those meetings, and then, of course, issues were discussed. And like you said, one of the issues discussed was the autonomy. And yes, it was discussed thoroughly at the meeting. I'm sure you get to the minutes of those Congress meetings, and,
yeah,
and all areas were covered, where it was decided that for the betterment of the sport, and in line with what the Olympic Charter and the International Federations Charter and the Confederation Federation Charter all suggested, that member federations should be independent. But of course, in Nigeria, we've been operating an issue of trying to harmonize, trying to balance, trying to keep where to belong, but it's not working. It's not working in the sense that, where do you belong? Are you independent? No. Do you report to who? So these are issues that were considered. And we don't even have powers to operate federations. And I can tell you this cut across not only the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, all other federations. It's happening there. Even if they don't talk, or if they talk, some other federations have been talking. And it's not the first time, Ken. This has been a fight being fought long ago before we came. There are other elders that have fought this fight 30 years ago. If you remember, if you go to your archives, check what happened in handball. Go to your archives, check what happened in other federations. That federation said, we cannot even move. We are not empowered. You have a budget. You're traveling, you have a budget, and this number of athletes and this number of officials, you have a budget of about 10 million. You'll be lucky to have 5 million to travel with. So how are you expected to raise the other 5 million? Now we approach corporate organizations. Corporate organizations told us basically and quite frankly, yes, we are close to you. Yes, we have a relationship. We know you. But we can't give you money because you are you are government.
Do you have that? Do you have on record, or it is a verbal discussion?
No, this is clear, because what are the basics of operating a corporate governance? Corporate governance, you should be able to operate your account.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't operate account, how do I check you? I have to go to a third party to check you? Because you come to me now, I tell you, sorry, I don't sign checks. And then I don't sign checks. And I don't control the person that signs checks. I don't control the treasurer. Then you want to give me money. I am asking you, please give me money. And then you say to me, you are not in charge. Why should I give you money?
Okay, we'll come to that. But
Yes.
let us go it this way. What are the issues? What are the issues? Because I mean, your board was divided. You were led to have called a meeting in which you did not attend.
No, I didn't call that meeting.
You did not call the meeting.
No, I did not call that meeting. How could I have called a meeting and then be absent at the meeting? Yes, the Constitution is very clear. The Athletics Federation of Nigeria Constitution is very clear that the president calls for a meeting and tell the secretary to disseminate that information, which the former secretary, and now that brings me to that. I had a secretary who sent out invitation letters. Suddenly, this secretary was removed without even consultation to me. He was removed, and then another new secretary brought in. So you can see the issue of the interference and non-control I'm talking about.
They are accused of insubordination. The ministry, not just this minister, but the other minister, wrote to you that that you should remove somebody, which the representative said, we don't want this person, and you failed to carry out the instructions.
I do not, and I repeat, not only me, no federation president has the power to remove another board member. Please go check Constitution.
But that is a directive from the ministry.
I cannot.
Did you, when the ministry now asked to remove them, did you respond?
Of course I responded.
Okay.
And the last letter I responded was, we are going to hold, a board meeting cannot resolve that issue. A board meeting cannot remove a board member. However, we're taking that to the Congress. So when the other meeting went to hold in Abuja, in the next couple of hours, later that night, there was going to be a board meeting, which is prelude to the other Congress that will happen. What stops them from coming to the board meeting if there's any issue to table it at the board meeting, at the Congress meeting? And then that was where we needed to present the letters to say, we have in receipt, check the agenda of that Congress. It is a point of the agenda, letters received from the ministry.
All right.
And this was an issue discussed.
Let us clear this.
Yes.
The Secretary General is supposed to send out those letters for meetings.
And he did.
Now, the Secretary General sent out, which Secretary General sent out the meeting for the Oka meeting?
The Secretary General that was there a long time when the meeting was called, that was there when the board meeting, when the board in May 2018 agreed to hold a board meeting, to hold a Congress in December. Mind you,
are you saying are you saying there are two Secretary Generals now in the at the AFN?
By the time in the life of my 2 years of being,
can you clarify for the sake of viewers, can you clarify?
Ken, in the life of my being president of Athletics Federation of Nigeria, I have had three Secretary Generals posted.
Okay.
You can see. So 3 Secretary Generals posted. Everyone, you have to take him up to speed when he's posted.
Okay.
Now, there was a meeting in May, at a board meeting, and we would have held our Congress in August. However, there was going to be the Doha event, which is the World Championship for Athletics.
Yeah, all right.
And we now said, Doha event dovetailed from August to September. We couldn't have held the Congress then. Okay. So let's move the Congress to December. It was agreed. And we decided it would be held in December. So when the venue, what remained was a venue and a sponsor to get which location it will be held. When that was decided, we told the secretary, with an approval of the board held in May, he disseminated letters. He sent letters out to all Congress members that there's going to be a Congress, arrival date was on 3rd, the Congress on the 4th, and departure on the 5th. Now, I now sent another letter to say, prelude to that meeting, please note that board members would hold a board meeting on the 8th, on the 8 p.m. on the 3rd of that, that's the arrival date. And he did that too. So it was surprising to me to hear that there was another board meeting held. How could I have called a board meeting, which the Constitution mandated me, empowered me to call a meeting, and then I would not be at the meeting. I would not be in another meeting.
The meeting in Oka, the Congress in Oka, was it the normal Congress or an extraordinary Congress?
It was an extraordinary Congress. Do not forget that some activities happened at the World Athletics. The IAAF changed its name to now World Athletics. Okay. So we needed, of course, to go in line with what they've done. We needed to align our constitution to the IAAF. We needed to align our constitution with the CAA, which, of course, that was done.
So are you saying the Congress in Oka, worked on the Constitution?
No, definitely. Among other things discussed, the Constitution was amended too.
Okay. I want to shift because I don't want to let us start talking about the autonomy thing.
Yes.
At what point, like I said, because now our viewers need to know this, at what point there was another Secretary General, using your position imposed or put on seconded to your organization? Because like from the constitution we have saying, it is the ministry that's supposed to appoint a Secretary General, not the Congress.
No, not that. Not that. Our constitution never said that.
What does the constitution say in the appointment of a Secretary General?
It says we should appoint. Now, not even that. The secretary you are talking about was posted on either on the 5th or 7th. No, on the 7th of November. Meanwhile, letters of invitation have been sent long time ago before his arrival. And he reported as a new secretary on the 7th of November, by which time all those issues, there were backlogs that they have been concluded, letters have been sent to states, board members have had their invitations for this meeting. So, what I expected, he should have picked from that point to say, okay, we have all these details, and then we'll take it off from there and move forward for the Congress and the board meeting.
As at the time the ministry sent the new secretary,
yes,
what was the response of the board, yourself and the board?
No, it's a normal procedure. What do they do? What do? We have been crippled into receiving. I told you these are two people that they're staff in the ministry. But the two key people that are sent, that operates any federation, is the secretary and the treasurer. These are people who manages the finances and the day-to-day activities of the federation. Of course, it has to be with the directives of the president. But in this case now, I've seen it doesn't. A president does not matter in a federation, in running a federation.
You are being accused of being strong-headed. That one, you don't take the directives, you ignore directives from the ministry. That two, you are also answerable to your board members. Yes. And then when you are accused, you do not respond to whatever accusations leveled against you.
You see, I have till date, I can confirm to you, I don't have any accusation that has been said to me, you're being accused. And what are the accusations? I just read on papers, high-handedness or what. What is being high-handed? Because I think things should be done the right way? Because I say things should be done? For example, what is there being high-handed? A letter has been sent to me to the ministry. So I should jump how high and approve that I'm removing a board member who was elected in the same capacity as me. I'm just opportune to be a president out of the board members. So I said the Congress is the highest ruling body of any federation. Let me present this document at the Congress and say to them, these are the allegations. And the Congress decides. But I have been in federations for long.
Okay.
Ken, I need to tell you my pedigree in sports.
All right. Go ahead.
For 27 years, I have either been a participant in sport and a sponsor. I think you can go back as far back as 1991, go to the Corporate Affairs Commission, find out. I can give you my sports club name. It has been there. It's a football club. It's an athletics club. And I've paid my dues. And I've been in the federation. So I think I am aware of the workings. And I sit here, by God's grace, I'm the ECOWAS president of athletics. ECOWAS, which is 15 countries. And that makes me the vice president of Africa. So for me to have gotten to this level, that tells you that I think I know to some level the operation of sports, not only in my country, but in ECOWAS and then in Africa. So yes, I've paid my dues. And I think all I'm asking, I cannot sit as a vice president of Africa and then do the wrong thing because I am being directed. Go and check the charter
But are you saying two ministers are wrong? The last minister wrote you the same letter. This same minister wrote you the same letter. Are you saying two ministers are wrong?
I should remove a board member when you are talking about interference. What?
But
I said, I'm just calling you to go back to the charter
yes.
of FIFA, of IAAF, of Boxing Federation, or any charter, of the Olympic Charter, which is the mother overall federation overseer. It is clear federations should be independent.
Okay, I want to ask you this. Federations are supposed to be independent, like you said. Now, your Congress also made up with the state chairman of AFN.
Yes.
Right? Now, most of these people apart from government running those things, are appointed by the by government, isn't it?
No, they go through elections.
They go through elections. Okay, if they go through elections,
Yes.
the person they were asking you to remove, it was a representative of the athletes, and those who sent him there told you, we don't want this person again.
It is not true.
Okay, what is the position?
I think we will avail you to documents.
Okay.
You see, it's good to have documentation.
Exactly, okay.
We'll avail you to documents. That letter came from a group that calls themselves Track Field Association, some union.
Okay.
We don't have union in our sports. And believe you me, we did a forensic. When I had those documents from the permanent secretary, Deshola Olushade, I remember the discussion we had. In fact, when he was giving us that document, he clearly said it, that he can see an amount of forgery in this. You can clearly see. We gave it to forensics, and they were able to identify one person will sign 17 signatures, another person will sign. Now,
do you have evidence of this forensic that you did on it?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the process that we went.
Okay.
We now called athletes. You can pick athletes, which is the local forensics that we've done. Pick athletes' name, call. And those athletes say, no, we didn't sign those documents. Yes, our names have been put. Well, we didn't sign. We went further to say the address on that letter.
Yeah.
We wrote to the stadium, and the stadium said they do not have that association or union in that place.
All right. We want to go on a very, very short break. We have Ibrahim Gusau in the house, the embattled president. We have to AFN, so don't worry about that. We'll discover that when we come back. Stay with us. It is Channel Sport on Sunday. All right. You're welcome back. I'm still having Ibrahim Gusau, and we're talking athletics. Before we went on break, I said we have two athletics federations, the Autonomous Federation and then the AFN. But he said, Ken, we have just one federation, AFN. But then let's see, because consequent upon the Congress at Oka, he had just said it was an extraordinary Congress, the Ministry of Sports, through the Permanent Secretary, reacted to this. Let us see if we can get their reaction. Okay. He said, in the discharge of this responsibility, the ministry, through the 38 national sport federations, under its supervision, ensures the compliance with laid down rules and regulations of the Code of Governance, which the Constitution of the National Sports Federation recognizes. By appropriation, the ministry is equally responsible for the financial sponsorship of most activities of the national sports federations, their preparation and participation at international competitions, as well as the presentation of Nigerian athletes at international competitions. In accordance with with provisions of Article 13.1 of the Code of Governance for National Sport Federations, each national sport federation is expected to furnish the ministry with its quarterly and annual performance report of its activities. While it is acknowledged that national sport federations are independent in the administration of their day-to-day activities, no national sports federation can be said to be autonomous of government due to the constitutional provisions as well as the appropriation support for the federation's account of the federal government. So, they said you can run your day-to-day activities, but you do not have the power to say you are autonomous.
Ken, do we run our day-to-day activity?
Don't you?
Do we?
Is somebody running your day-to-day activities for you? In
Ministry, of course. When you have a secretary from the ministry, when you have a treasurer from the ministry, and sometimes you want documents, and the secretary tells you, sorry, sir, I'm busy with the ministry. Please, can I, in the next 2 days, your documents are not ready. Or clearly, a staff is being removed, and another new face is being sent without consultation to you. Are you in control? Are you running the day-to-day activities? Now,
excuse me. Let us clear this.
Yes.
You knew this before you assumed the saddle as the AFN president.
Yes.
And then how come now? Because they are saying that for all this while you have not talked about autonomy. Suddenly you have a $2.7 million contract with Puma, and you said, well, you know, you are autonomous.
I'm coming.
I used to maybe like,
I'm coming.
Is it because of the money that you are talking about autonomy?
I'm coming to that.
All right.
Before I even come to that,
yes,
Ken, you should know that that funding is in kind, not in cash.
Okay.
But I'll come to that.
All right.
I'll come to that.
Okay.
You see, God bless the last honorable minister for his wisdom. And I think he foresaw this coming, that the way operations are being handled with regards to federations, he enforced, he made sure, he directed that all federations should go, and he gave time limit within which federations should bring up their constitution.
Exactly. Of course, that was...
And you knew this was the wisdom behind what Solomon Dalong did. And God blessed him for doing that.
Okay.
And in the course of that, several federations brought up a constitution. And
including the AFN?
Including the AFN.
Okay.
We gathered at the Congress that the minister was there, the NOC president was there, the NOC vice president was there, and almost we got 3 out of the former DG of the commission, of the sports commission. It was a huge gathering, and this constitution was ratified. So we now have a working document. It's against the other document that they call Code of Governance. No, now we have a working document within which each federation should operate upon. Now, coming to your point on the issue of is it because we have this sponsorship?
You have this 2.7
for how many years? Again, President Muhammadu Buhari has been hammering on the weight on the federal government's fund, on the federal government's treasury, that look for sources of funding. Only recently he told the universities, I'm sure you are aware of that, that they should look for opportunities where they can raise funds to run their organizations. Now we looked inward. It's a forward-looking federation we have. Aside from talking, like I said to you, to corporate organizations in Nigeria to say, please help. On the issue of this adoption, we've tried that a long time ago. We've talked to travel agents. We say, give us rebate tickets. If you can, give us even some tickets, because we can't afford it. As I sit here today, I tell you, Ken, I have bills unpaid.
But they said you didn't carry them. You know, why you answering this? That you didn't carry other members of your federation along while you were discussing with Puma on this particular deal.
It was discussed. It was agreed. Let me take you back.
Yeah.
In one of the board meetings, there was a general approval that if you can, Ochonogo can get us sponsor, we'll give you a percentage of that to encourage you. It was an approved, it was an approved board issue.
Okay.
And go back, since when was Nigeria not being sponsored by any sponsors? Do you know the Herculean task that we engaged to get a consultant to get us this? And I thought by now we should be given medals. I thought the ministry should tell us, or any Nigerian should say, thank you for doing this, because we are saving the federal government 2.75 million or 75 million for the next 4 years. Let me make this point.
Okay.
For the next 4 years, change that money to Naira. How many boreholes would the federal government build? How many health centers? How much would it put in education? If that is being used and we're saving, if that is done by other federations, how much do you think it will save Nigerians?
So I ask you this. It looks so beautiful, but is it out of place for you to have placed this contract before the House for them to approve? I said to
you, board members know.
They are aware.
Board members know, but I cannot help if a board member does not come to a meeting. That is his problem.
Okay, that means you mean this? It has been discussed.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
This contract was discussed before the board.
Yes, and even now at the Congress. Even now at the Congress.
The Congress at OCA, but not, I mean, that is it. I mean, the Congress at OCA, 7 members of the board were not there.
No, that was a board meeting.
Okay, the executive board.
That was a board meeting. And I don't know where you got your 7 members figure. I really don't know where you got that. Because I saw some list being, I saw some list being brandished around. Go and check with the immigration. Some people who are not even in the country when their names were being listed as being part of.
They are also accusing you that of the 29 states that you said attended the OCA Congress, that some of these persons, some of them are just they are not members of the board in their respective states. about 3 or 4 of them, they mentioned that they are not members of
Listen,
your respective states.
Ken,
Yes.
we have letters from each state being that represented that came to the board meet, so to the Congress meeting.
Okay.
So you see, what I've noticed in Nigeria, people try to defame, people try to misinform.
Okay.
And that is what they do. This is their style. So whatever they want to do, I know I'm doing the right thing. I have things I'm doing. And I'm saying, check this, how long I have been in sport and how much. Go and check the results of AFN since I came. Go and check the results. See where AFN has placed itself today. We have number 3 person in the world. The last time we got a medal in the World Championship was 2013.
Are you happy that we got a solitary medal at Doha?
When was the last time?
Are you happy?
Hang on. When was the last time we got a medal? First, that is aside. All our teams were working until the minister was pressured into removing a technical director. Do you do that in the course of a championship?
Okay, let me ask you this.
Don't tell me. We are working for now, as I need to tell you this. We're preparing to Olympics.
Okay.
Is there supposed to be any rancor?
That is exactly where
our federation,
this, yes.
Mind you, our federation has qualified. Most of our athletes have qualified for Olympics. Shouldn't there be peace? Our federation is one federation that Nigeria is hoping to pick medals from.
Okay.
This is just 6 months to Olympics, and we're having this issue, and then people were fanning the embers of fire of this. How do you expect?
This is administrative as against technical.
No, it is. It goes pari passu.
Okay.
It goes pari passu. Because if there's no peace in this, we have submitted proposals.
Can you educate us? I want you to educate us a little bit in this. What should be the relationship between the AFN, the ministry, the NOC, and then in this case, your global body, the IWAF. What should be the relationship?
Thank you. When we say autonomy, definitely Nigerian athletes traveling abroad belongs to Nigeria.
Okay.
And who is Nigeria? That's the ministry.
Okay.
So we understand that. And I think this is what I expected people to have asked when they saw that autonomy.
Okay.
Naturally. But we are saying to the level of operations, we have to be autonomous. But of course, if today Nigerian team is put together, athletes A, B, C, D are qualified, and then coaches 1, 2, 3.
You hand them over to the NOC?
Of course, we hand them over to the NOC, who hands them over to the ministry, and the ministry package them for that event. This is the arrangement we're talking about. But when you think, no, yeah, he says ministry. No, we're not saying that completely. If they go, they don't wear AFN's their name. They don't wear Ibrahim Gusau. They wear Nigeria. They wear Nigeria.
Now, other federations in other countries,
yes,
are they autonomous of the states?
I can tell you completely. In fact, in the issue of autonomy,
yes,
it's in the United States. Did you ever hear Ministry of Sports? In the United Kingdom, do you hear? In fact, let me come to Africa. Google South Africa. Is there anything like Ministry of Sports? That is being overseen by the Olympic.
I think South Africa had a Ministry of Sport and Recreation.
No, I don't think it's not true.
Yeah, yes,
Ken, I challenge you because the president of athletics of South Africa left this morning.
Yeah, okay.
There was a 50-kilometer race yesterday in Remo, and he was with us.
Okay.
And I can confirm to you it is not true. There was not. If it was there, maybe so many years ago.
Yeah,
now it's SASOC.
Okay.
It's SASOC.
Okay.
So there's nothing like that. It is the Olympic Committee of South Africa and then the federations. This is how the operation is done. And I think, yes, that is another way the ministry, the federal government should look at in saving monies that they don't have.
Okay, now you appointed a new secretary
yes,
at the Congress. But
yes, in
your constitution, the ministry is supposed to, which you have not changed the constitution. Have you changed it?
Of course.
You have changed the constitution?
Of course. Our constitution never carried that the ministry will give us a secretary. You see, we were just being quiet and trying to see, the example.
But it's not only your federation. It's all the federations.
No, but I'm twisted, and our federation never carried that. And I can tell you clearly, this is the issue that suggested that yes, we need to be independent.
But why do you allow them to pay your staff? They pay all your staff.
They pay their staff, I pay my staff.
Who are your staff and who are your staff?
We have staff. There's a demarcation. How we raise money to pay staff. In fact, Ken, you should know, since we came in, I challenge you, ask any federation president, any basketball, handball, badminton, have they ever been given any funding to run their federations with regards to administration? When I say administration, you buy paper, buy data, pay. I pay my staff, who is the staff of the federation. We pay. We saw somehow God help us because he's a human being. We look for money and we pay those staffs. But these are other staff that belong to the ministry. Of course, the ministry will pay them, and that is why they can afford to yank them at any moment to post them to any other place.
What is the position of IWF concerning the OCA Congress?
No, of course, do not forget this.
Are they aware? Were they aware before? Were they informed?
Of course, they are aware. There's a representative sent. The CEO, the Director General of the CAA, was with us. He was coming to Nigeria to visit Port Harcourt Training Center, and that coincides with the date of the Congress. And he was now.
That means it wasn't because of the Congress that he came.
No. It doesn't matter whether the Congress or not the Congress. He was there and he gave his approval. Not only that, he delivered a speech on behalf of the CAA, which is of course automatically when he was.
Is that an endorsement?
Of course. I think you need to write your own letters for confirmation. Do not rely on what I tell you.
Okay.
Do not rely. We have documents. All these documents I'm talking about, Ken, are available. Of course, they are now in the other secretariat being handled. So maybe you can write to them to say.
I need a sincere answer.
Yes.
The current state of athletics in Nigeria. How do you rate it?
You see, we are coming back. And I think
that means we are not where we are supposed to be.
No, with this I'm twisting, with this rancor.
But this thing happened just about
it's
6 months.
It's been there. It's been there day one. It's been there. It's been there for the last 2 years. God, in his infinite mercy, found ways of making us progress. Let me take you to when we went to Rabat. I wrote and said we are going to go to junior championships in Rabat. Never got any money. And then mobilized. Lagos State gave me a bus. Delta State gave me a bus. I now sourced. When the pressure came, there was the AFN bus, you recall, which is now taken by the ministry. We don't even have it. And in that bus, I even begged Gabriel Suswan as governor to donate it to the AFN. It's now being taken by the ministry. This is the interference we're talking about. I was able to get 4 buses, which I was told basically you have to fuel them. And I found ways of fueling this. And I took 105 athletes to Rabat with 15 officials. Some of the board members that are complaining, when they heard it was a bus trip, they opted out. But of course we went and we won. And what did I do?
You mean you went on road
from here
to Rabat and back?
No, to Abidjan.
To Abidjan,
okay. Yes. And then we won. And what did we do? We took even over our quota. And we had plans in doing that. Some of these are young athletes that needed exposure. And we felt, okay, Abidjan is not very far. Even though it's far, it's not very far. We can afford to take them to participate. And they participated. That veil of being afraid of competing with internationals was removed. Check our very, very young athlete doing wonderfully well from Delta. She's also right now around number 8 in the world.
Okay. Now, 2 things first. First and foremost, I want you to restate here. You said I asked you that the athletes wrote that they are representative in Bushubi. You said
Ken, we do not.
You said the permanent secretary. I want to get that clear.
When the PAMSEC got that document.
Yes.
He asked for me.
Okay.
Respectfully, I was there, and he said they have this document coming. The first thing I saw when I saw a union, I told him, PAMSEC, we don't have a union in our sport. However, he said, yes, it looks like it. And even from his eyes, he can see these are repeated handwritings.
Okay.
And we took that document.
And what of the signatories?
That is what I'm saying, repeated handwritings and signatures. Okay. You can see a repeat. from one person or two persons or three persons. And we took that document and handed it over to a committee to please investigate. And they've done their investigation. When they did their investigation, yes, some of these athletes were even contacted that they were in receipt of a certain document.
And your name is there.
Your name is there and you have signed. And they said no. It didn't only stop there. It went, the letters were written to this office address of that union. And they said, no, sorry, we are not, I can tell you we have that document. We don't know this union. They don't have an office in our premises. We don't know about them. But still, out of respect, you know, of constituted authority, I have respect for constituted authority. I took those letters and I said to the ministry, I do not have the power. Please understand my situation. I will take it to the Congress for ratification.
Okay.
You understand? Which was just a day. Which was what happened on the 3rd was the next day. I was presenting that in the Congress.
Your relationship with grassroots and school sports. How do you get them? Now, American universities, you know, go over there. Do you liaise with our own universities? They give scholarship to our people. How do you discover them? How do you nurture them? What have you been doing in the past 2-3 years?
We try as much as possible. I've attended several events of youth championships. And before the youth championships, every opportunity I have in being in a state,
yeah,
I try to encourage, whether the marathon, whether the jumps, whether the long distance. Just last week before the Congress, I was in Port Harcourt, and I visited the training center. And I encourage athletes that are being trained there. And I am happy. It's just so unfortunate that this rancor is there. If we put our helps together and work, Nigeria will take, with the kind of abundant talents that we have, would have been away from where we were. So we've done that, yes. Right now, and I want to commend Delta State. I can tell you, Ken, when I visited the training center, I saw athletes in camp, and they are preparing. And I hear Delta State is already paying them stipends to support and encourage them. This is, at this point, what we need to be doing. At this point, what we need to do to encourage these athletes for their performances.
Okay, I know it is not always right for asking people to score themselves, but when you guys came on board, you have your short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals that you want to achieve. In this wise, how do you score yourself in your short-term, in your medium-term, and in the long-term? What you said, this is what we want to achieve as a board under your leadership.
Ken, I'm an engineer, and in engineering, you know, we aspire for perfection. If you are designing a software, if there's a glitch in that software, it will not work. This is how we work. If you design this building, in the structures, if there's a problem, they will say you'll get a crack. This is engineering. I'm giving you proper engineering. Now,
you're talking to an engineer.
Yes, thank you. I speak your language, and I'm a fellow. I'm a fellow, and you know what it means to be a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers.
Yes.
That means I've reached to the highest level of engineering. I can say to you, we had our ambition, we had our proposals, we had our expectations. Now, yes, we might not have achieved what I wanted, because we went to Doha, immediately we took over as a federation. We didn't even have time to arrange the athletes that would go for London World Championship. But we were there and we participated. There was no medal. But over time, you can see in 2 years, we're appearing. Blessing was there. Toby Amuson came number 4 in the world. We have the gold medalist, S.A. Brume, as number 3 in the world. We have our shot putter. He's now number 8 in the world. In fact, go and check, Nigeria has moved from its position of about 60-something in the world to about 31 in the world, based by our performances in Doha. Our performances in Doha has pushed us almost 30 slots from where we were before the championships to where we are. That is not what I wanted. Before Doha ended, I was looking for an opportunity to pick 2 gold medals. That didn't happen, but we're trying to do that in the Olympics 2020.
Okay, it's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
And we hope to get back to you.
Thank you.
And hope that probably we'll resolve this issue that, on Nigerian athletics and we'll move forward. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll take a very short break. And when we come back, China Sport on Sunday continues.